For this net neutrality lesson, I have two objectives. The first is that students will understand the definition of net neutrality and identify several pros and cons of the issue. And the second objective, which I think is bigger and more important, is that students will develop their own opinion on the issue through research and reflection. This covers Standard 7.4.1. Once again, this is from the AP Computer Science Principles Curriculum Framework. Students will explain the connections between computing and economic, social, and cultural contexts. And there's kind of two substandards. C, the global distribution of computing resources raises issues of equity, access, and power. So it's kind of the equity part that we're talking about with net neutrality. If there are no regulations in place, it could happen that people can pay for faster internet or pay to get their message out sooner than their opponent. And then D, groups and individuals are affected by the digital divide, differing access to computing and the internet based on socioeconomic or geographic characteristics. So same idea, net neutrality kind of addresses that equity issue of whether or not everyone has equal access to the internet and all the information on the internet. So just a little background about why I like this lesson and why I picked it for this project. First of all, this is an incredibly relevant topic. Net neutrality, rulings about net neutrality are changing constantly. If I taught this lesson in a month, I would probably have to update the PowerPoint. So it's a really relevant topic. Also, not many students really know what net neutrality is or what they can do about it. When I taught this a couple weeks ago, I did a poll and basically no one had read about net neutrality. Many people had heard of it, but just hadn't done the research to find out what it was. And I would like my students to be more informed internet users. Pretty much all of them use the internet a lot. So it's really important that they understand what net neutrality is and are up to date on kind of what's happening with it. The reason I chose this lesson for the project is because there are lots of UDL elements, specifically the assessment that I have the students do. It's an artifact, which is vocabulary I borrowed from the AP, or from the College Board. In the AP Computer Science Principles class, students will be required to make an artifact, which is basically a paper or a song or a video or a drawing or an animation. Basically, they get to pick how they want to showcase what they learned. And so I thought that would be a good UDL element to this lesson.